Hello everyone, welcome to my studio once again. Happy New Year's Eve to everyone that's listening. Today I kind of came into my studio not knowing exactly what I'm going to be painting. But I do know the colors, so that is where I'm going to be starting. Sometimes this always happens, and I came to realize that this is a great starting point. If I have a color in mind, that's all I need. It's all I need to start, and that is what I'm doing. I have some blues that are on my palette, and I'm going to add a little bit of blacks and greens, and let's see what happens. I have no idea, but that's the beauty of it. Just want to see wherever it goes. I'm actually going to be using one of my brushes that I customized from Princeton and see how this will work on the background. I'm kind of doing my base layer right now so I can cover the whole canvas. I know this was previously gessoed, but I still want to cover it. I always, no matter what, the first layer, I always try to cover the canvas in all the corners. I have to keep moving my brush in the first initial layer because if I do, the acrylics will dry up, and I don't want that right now, so I'm just trying to cover it as quick as I can before it dries up. I feel like I want to use a little bit of this beautiful turquoise deep color. I'm just going to add it in here for now. And maybe a little bit more of this. Persian blue hue. I don't know if anyone knows this, but my favorite color is blue, because to me it's the color of the mind, of our thoughts, of our memories. That's what, I don't know, I feel like I want to paint something with a really beautiful blue and see where it takes me. I have no idea where it's going to take me. Okay. So my first initial feeling is that I want to add a touch of magenta somewhere around this area and a little bit of this beautiful pearl iridescent or pearl white. Maybe. Just give a little touch to it. Add a little bit more blue on this area. Maybe hover it there. Okay, I think I have an idea what I'm going to be doing. I think I'm feeling hills and mountains right now. But I think the night's sky or the evening sky I'm going to be building. And to do that, I'm just going to add a little bit more white. I feel like I want to add some shape to this sky somehow. And some more of the turquoise deep color, maybe right here. I feel like I want to add a little bit more of the cream, peachy, pink tone right here. Maybe right here too. Yeah, something like that. It's a beautiful color right there. I love that color. I'm gonna keep it and move this here. I'm going to try to attempt to blend out some of the areas with this really, really beautiful oval, round-shaped brush. Then I'm going to do a little bit of a bounce, a little bit of a swirl, just a little bit of everything. Happy New Year to everyone, by the way. Thank you for joining me on this New Year's Eve day. I'm kind of zigzagging and blending up and down with the same brush. So if I squint my eyes, I kind of have like a rough idea where this color is leading me, or this pattern of colors. It's hard to tell with this little bit of a glare, but once it dries, you will see a little bit more popping out. Okay, I'm gonna wait till this dries just a little bit so I can blend it some more. And I have a feeling I wanna bring some greens here somehow, just a little bit. This is just like a rough draft. Rough draft wherever these colors are leading me. I have to trust the process, even though I have no idea where it's taken me. Okay. I have somewhat of an idea right now. All right. I'm going to take this really, really large brush and I'm going to like gently swoop it and blend it. Because it's a night's scene, I feel like I would definitely like to be adding some stars or some nighttime sceneries in the sky. kind of first building the initial colors. There you go. I have a feeling I kind of want to open this area up a little bit more with light, just a little bit. So I'm going to create it. I'm going to make it where I start seeing some landscape in the background. Maybe I want to go here at the blue now. Kind of want it to peep through the horizon. Right now I'm kind of shaping the distant hills and mountains. I'm kind of playing with mid-tones right now, not with harsh shadows or lights, because this gives me a good base to mold the scenery. It's a great way to start out the first layers. I feel like the way that it's being progressing in my mind, I feel like it's going to be somewhat of a layer. So in the distance, it's going to be a little bit lighter, and then it's going to be darker as if it's coming over with this cloud, and then there will be like a spotlight of a light on this hill or this mountain. So I'm going to be creating some layers. That's kind of where I'm feeling where it's going to lead me. But only time will tell. By the end of this, we'll find out together. This is the whole creative process. Not knowing 100%. And that is okay. feel free to also comment or ask me any questions, because I'll be more than happy to answer them while I paint. I'm still building up the light in the background, trying to feel where it wants to go. Since the background's still a little wet, I'm still utilizing this as a opportunity to blend out some of the lights that I created. Gonna lighten it up even more. I think Marcus said, I have a question, what will you do next year? I think I am going to continue painting. I'm super excited for new artistic projects that I have lined up for, and possibly some world travels again. And of course, I want to teach my new nephew some painting. He's only like 2 months old, but I would love to show him some art and some music. I would love to be the best aunt I can be next year. Right now I'm kind of adding back into the pinks in the sky. Kind of feeling where I want to go. don't use the fan brush as often as a lot of artists do, but sometimes I'll use it in some occasions, just like this one. So the reason why sometimes that I stop using the fan brush is because it has very rigid, pronounced rake feel, and that's not something what I want right now. So I'm gonna omit this brush again and do another one to soften it up. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait till this completely dries, and I'm gonna go with a nice glaze layer on top of the clouds and the whole sky. And to do that, you have to wait till it completely dries. Hopefully, in the next possibly 20 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. I didn't do any harsh thick layers, so hopefully we'll be able to do it soon. So far, we are slowly seeing some scenery being built. Slowly but surely. Doti says, Adu, doesn't she use water? And yes, I'm using just simple water to clean my brushes. Okay, I'm gonna build again the very, very background, distant mountains. I'm right now at a toss whether to put the distant mountains with a little bit of snow or keep it in a green state. So I'm kind of feeling for it right now. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it slightly snowy in the background. I think that's what's calling me to do. Yep, a light dusting of the snow. I think that's a good idea. Before I do that, I have to make the mountains a little more rigid, a little bit more peaked up, so I can reach the sky just a little bit more. I'm going to add a little highlights to the valley. One of my favorite things to paint is actually mountains, because it has so much characters and personalities. Feels like there are just like the trees that have so many stories. I think the mountains do as well. See right now, do you see how I'm trying to open this up? And I'm gonna make this continually like inside a shadow. This is also gonna open up into a spotlight. I really like creating the layers so there's more definition, there's more energy, specific kind of like mood for the painting that I'm trying to create. Definition is key. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna wash my brush off and add back in the color for the mountain. Add another mountain here. I think that's what's wanting. I'm kind of going in and out between the shadow and the highlights of the peaks. I'm using the oval wash from my collection, my brush collection that I designed. Oh gosh, thank you so much for joining. Renata. It's a new member. Thank you so much, Renata3712. It is such a blessing to be able to share a piece of my creative process. From the very beginning, when I first laid my paints on this canvas, I had no idea what I'm going to be painting. The only direction was some blues that I had in mind. So sometimes that's what happens, and it takes me in so many directions, and I have to just trust the process. Even my brushes, they have a tendency to pull me in a direction, and I just have to feel it. Okay. Kind of adding that back in. It's giving me a very beautiful highlight. I think the vibe that I'm getting right now is that everything's unknown, and the territory, the terrain feels so in the distance and so mysterious. But I feel that because of it, it makes it more challenging and more adventurous. So I think I'm getting the vibe of new beginnings, the start of a new chapter, even though it's a little dark, a little mysterious, but it's exciting. Wow. Oh, thank you so much. I don't know how to say your username, but it's Blues Zervik. Thank you so much. That's really sweet of you. I just feel so honored, so honored and blessed I could share this with you guys. Sometimes it's a slow process, but hopefully a little bit of this can inspire you so you can create your own. Okay, I have a little base of what I'm looking for. Okay. I'm gonna put a little bit of snow on the mountains now. To do that, I'm gonna blend a little bit of blues, but I think the key to this is to have a gray tone, not a blue tone, not a huge one, but a gray. Hopefully it'll work. We'll see. Okay, let's start from here. I think what's going to pop out is the whites coming and hitting on the sunlight, the moonlight. So let's try right here. This is a good place. A little bit of here, just touching the peak. Maybe some here. Some of the snow hit the valley, just there. I think right here is a good place too. And right there. build up the second layer, and I'm gonna revisit the furthest later afterwards, but I'm kind of gonna go with the mid-tone again. I don't think I'm going to put a lot of highlights on this layer because that's what gives the definition and how the distance of this vast landscape. I feel like a little bit of the pastures are creeping through the shadow right now. And the rolling hills. Just popping those little hills out right now, but still keeping it in the shadow. There you go. Kind of finally seeing some shapes right now. I'm now going with a little bit of foliage, little bushes and trees. And by doing that, I'm mixing up just more of a darker color and defining the hills just a little more with the foliage. Put little trees there, sticking out. I feel like right there, it's coming together. This brush is amazing, by the way. It really is helping me shape a lot of the scenery for this painting. It's so versatile. just adding some little trees in the distance so I can show the layers. I'm not going all over the place. I'm just selecting some of the few areas. The more closer the person is, the closer the trees and the hills and the grass. So I'm trying to, little by little, trying to gradually make it bigger towards the bottom of the canvas. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Brian. Gosh, I feel so honored. Thank you so much. That means a lot. All I wanted was just to share this with you guys. Very, very, very kind of you. So right now I'm kind of feeling that the hill's gonna kind of come more higher here. So I'm gonna shape a little bit of the hill. It's a little closer to the viewer. Kind of shaping it now with the shadows at the moment, just so if I have to change it up, it'll be an easy fix. I'm just molding it just to see where it wants to go. Change it. Right there. I think that's a good idea. Okay, I have an idea. I'm gonna go a little bit more lighter with a little bit of the greens. Not too light, but just a little bit. So this little hill right there, that's going to be a slight overlook. It's overlooking the landscape. I feel like I want to fly into the landscape. That's why I'm still keeping an aerial view almost like I want to be free to roam around. Oh my gosh, Blue Cervic, I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. I feel so honored. Oh my gosh, thank you. Your words mean a lot to me, and hopefully I could continue doing this so you can enjoy and hopefully get inspired. I just do it because I love doing it. So right now I'm kind of doing like a swirl, because for me a technique that I like using is to go in a continuous O shape, and that gives me a great amount of room to not just blend but to shape. Because if I just do lines like that, I can't go far with that. It's too fake, and I feel like this having an O technique gives me the freedom to shape it but also make it more natural. So I'm going to kind of shape the edges of this little hill right about now. I've spoken with many artists in the past, and one of the things that they always ask me about is, how do I get inspiration? What's my technique to find it? Where do I find it? Show me, the secret to it. And I always pondered about it, and I always thought it was very, it was so foreign to me, that concept, because I've always lived by this motto, and I just lived it. And it's simply, I don't wait for inspiration. Inspiration waits for me. That gave me the luxury and the freedom throughout my life to never be confined or chained to this idea of inspiration, because inspiration will always come to you, always, no matter what, if you're open to it, and if you start by laying the first layer of paint on the canvas. Toti asked, how long do your brushes last? Actually, my brushes last about, well, it kind of varies. I will say not super long because I definitely use them to their fullest potential. But I do have some brushes that last for me many years, probably 5-6 years. but it's a very common thing for me to get new brushes every single painting that I do. I would always go to my art store and pick out some brushes. And it could be from the very, very cheapest ones of $2 to more expensive ones, just depends. I go into the art store and I just feel the bristles, and I don't look at anything. I don't look at what's it for, if it's watercolors, oils. I don't look at that at all. I just feel the bristles and imagine me painting with it for the next painting. Oh, thank you so much, CHA. Oh, thank you so much for your words. That means a lot to me. Your support means so much to me. Thank you so much. Gosh, I feel so blessed to have you all here with me and paint with me. Right now, I'm kind of, this whole time I was feeling where the grass was leading me, and I feel that I'm gonna make another dip here, another little layer. And a shadow layer. Layers are very important for landscapes, especially hilly ones. And then another dip here. Because I kind of want to go on this adventure. The more I'm painting, the more I want to fly over it and see where it leads me. That's the key to every painting, is to paint the places that you're unafraid to explore and you want to be. I'm gonna open up now some more highlighted areas on the grass. Sometimes I feel like my hands are going 20 miles an hour while my vision, the layers of the visions go about maybe 90 to 100. So I'm just going with the flow and catching up with my fingers. I think it's wanting just a little bit more color. Maybe. as if some out of the blue spotlight came on the hill. So right now I'm adding some texture to the hill. A little rougher than it was in the distance. It's quite dry, so I can mold it however I want it. I'm adding some more earthy tones, so it will have a natural color effect. As if the soil is peeking through the grass. Wash my brush one more time. I'm gonna go once more with the darks. Kind of giving it some character right now. Ooh, I have an idea. I think I'm gonna either put a little house right here or some stone buildings of some sort. I think that's what came to mind right now. I still kind of want to keep the darker tone right here because I feel like I want to like zone in and fly right about here. I'm keeping that point of view and that perspective more of in the center. So that's why I'm keeping a little bit of the darker tone in the grasses still right about the around the edges. I'm doing some rough texture right now because I feel like I want to make the hill alive. I'm going to do the same thing with the highlight. I'm going to kind of go here. Just feel where it goes. Yeah, from the very beginning, I had no idea what I'm going to be doing today. And I really like it how it's coming along, too. Sometimes overthinking on your project, that will be the wall that would stop you from doing your project. So my advice is if you have 10% of an idea, that's all you need. That's all you need. Even if it's a color, everything will come together. And it's okay letting it go if it doesn't come together. It's all part of the building process. Many of my paintings in the past, I had a tendency to go over my paintings layer after layer, even after I finished it. I felt like it wasn't finished. The idea wasn't complete, so I kept on going over and over and over again. So many of my paintings, if you did an X-ray, behind them you would see multiple layers of different landscapes, different animals. Because I was just feeling and trusting the whole process and letting go, even though it would take me 100 hours, for example. I think sometimes we cling on to our material possession, whether it is creative or not. I think that's what it taught me. Sometimes we do have to let go. And it's okay, because a better one is awaiting for you. A better outcome. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna add some trees that's on top of this hill. Not on this one or this one, but on this one. And to do that, I'm gonna make it a little bit of the larger trees in selected few areas and add some highlights on top of it because it hit on the sun hit on this mountain, this whole hill. So I'm building some dark trees right now. Doesn't have to be perfect, just an idea. A little bit of shrubbery right here. Maybe just a little here too. Okay, I'm going to be using the same brush and adding some highlights. Yep, just as I thought, I feel like I'm definitely being inspired to create a small little house somewhere right above this mountain. But first I have to build up the trees just a little bit. It's almost like an evening storm that came in, and there was a minute of calm. I could see like a little bit of rain in the distance, possibly. No, we'll figure it out together. just for the heck of it, I'm going to switch my brushes. A little bit of a smaller one. Trying to find it in Mary Poppins of a tub of water. Actually, this might work. This one and this one. I'll shoot for this one for now. For these types of paintings, especially in the first day and the first initial idea, I tend not to do the detail brushes right away. But for this one, I'm gonna start going with a little bit of the detail on the trees just to poke through some of the leaves that's hitting the light. I think the key is to not do super vivid greens when it comes to natural landscapes. I think the more super colorful it is, the more of a surreal cartoon style it becomes. I still want to have it slightly realistic, so that's why I'm still keeping with the natural tones of the greens and the blacks and the browns. All right. I'm going to do a little bit of small highlights in the mountains really quickly. I think that would be fun to do. I'm gonna wait for the background to dry just a little bit more because I kind of want to do an experiment. I kind of want to glaze the sky just a little bit. Hopefully it'll work. If not, I could always rebuild. I think I'm going to start building a little bit of a structure here somehow. I think maybe I'm gonna build, I'm debating whether here or here. This is a cute place too. You know what? You know what? I think right about here looks like a nice area. Let's do that. This one's a good place too. Actually, I changed my mind. We're going here. Or we could do both areas. We'll see what happens. Just some little structure. A little hut. Maybe like a stone home. Very similar to like Ireland or Scotland vibe. And make this just a little taller. Maybe I could put it into a steeple. Why not? It's more pronounced. I'm not doing any harsh designs. I'm just designing a little bit of the structures. Maybe a little one right here. Open up the door. something's there. Maybe like a little farmland or maybe a little church. We'll see. A little pathway coming in. There's some sort of life here. Let's put a tad bit of this into it. And maybe see. Maybe a little bit of crimson. Maybe I'm doing like a somewhat of a dirt road that's leading down the mountain, leading up somewhere. There you go. I don't know what structures I'm doing, it just feels like it's wanting to be there. It could change, but I think that's what I'm going for. Something like that. Ooh, you know what? This looks like a tunnel, some sort of bridge, but I might do that. Like a little tunnel, a little bridge right here. There you go. Add a little highlights back into the structure. One there, one there, right there. All right, I have a pretty good idea what I'm painting. Like in the distance should be just a little bit light. Okay. I feel I'm gonna give this a try. I'm gonna open this part up just a little bit. Hopefully it'll work. If not, we'll make do. Time to experiment. I want to open the sky up just a little bit more here. Let's see what happens. Right now I'm kind of creating a slight fog, kind of showing somewhat of the chill in the air in the distance. By doing that, I don't have this wet at all. It's super dry. And I'm just going in circles. I think that there's not much. I was gonna do some glazing, but I feel like it's not super needed. I feel what's needed is some little peep of stars in the sky. Even though it's somewhat of a, I don't know what time it is actually. It could be during the evening, but this storm came and it's still holding some of the sun in the sky. But I don't know, it feels like some stars will be really, really pretty to do. And by doing that, I think I'm gonna mix the blue stars first. And it's gonna be very, very gentle. Mix turquoise, a little bit of white, and I'm going to be using this rounded short brush, and I'm going to be like flicking with my finger up and down, and let's see how it'll go. But first I'm going to somewhat cover the area with a paper towel and kind of like just feel, not too much, maybe some here, maybe some there. I'm gonna go one more. Just like that. I'm gonna go one more time with a lighter color. I'm gonna turn some of these into beautiful stars. I'm gonna do a little bit of pink stars now. Same concept. I'm gonna do one there, one there, and there. There. Here. I'm going to take my detail brush and I'm going to go into the white. I'm going to pick and choose some of my favorite areas that I want to highlight. My favorite stars. See, it's not so mysterious anymore, is it? Now it's feeling like a little bit of wonder. while that dries, I'm going to add some final touches to the homestead with a little bit of yellow. And I want to create that somebody is living there. So what better way to create some life in a building with some light, with a little bit of candle or whatever it is. You know what? Let's put somebody in the distance also having their bonfire or their light in their home, as if they're not alone. There you go. I think this somewhat concludes this painting. I feel like I could go on and on and on and on, but it is my inspiration for today. And I came in not knowing what I'm going to be doing, and I just wanted to trust the process. All I had from the very beginning is one clue. Just the color blue. But that morphed into a turquoise and morphed into more of a green. And some mountains came, some hills, and then a home in the mountains. All right. All right, thank you all for joining me today on this New Year's Eve. I feel so honored and blessed that I could share my creative inspiration with you all. It's almost like this time is like my painting diary that I'm sharing with you. I really, really hope that you join me next time on another creative adventure, wherever it leads, just like today. And I really wish everyone the most beautiful coming year, and please do comment below, message me. I would love to hear your New Year's resolution, what your goals are. My goal is to continue painting and sharing this with all of you and spreading the message of art, of love, and of community. And I really hope to hear from you all soon. Comment below and I'll definitely gonna read all of your messages. I can't wait to see you all in the next year. So, Happy New Year, everyone. Bye-bye.